You guys talk, go ahead. And then, everyone's just sitting there or they're not actually talking. You can't blame them, it's really what are you putting in there to force them to talk? Like, okay, if I already pre-assign, for example, like everyone's a certain number, or everyone has those partners, and then I tell everyone to move and I give like a movement and a clap or a code word, like it seems silly, like those little movements, like, oh my gosh, like whole brain teaching, when I watch those videos, it seems like robotic or something, but those little expectations just kind of forces the kids to see what I'm expecting, and it just promotes all of the learning necessary in the daily life to kind of help the student themselves feel successful, instead of me having to kind of like watch over them, almost bribing them with a treat or something, where they can kind of find success themselves in the right ways.
It gives them something to associate their task at hand with something that you do.
Yeah, so it's just tough
so
with
you
the
can
whole
control it.
Yeah, with the whole day, because like with a single lesson, let's say I teach something new, I want to be able to teach it a little bit, have them practice and talk, then maybe have like a group try the same type of problem together, have them practice and talk about any mistakes, and slowly release like scaffolds there, so that everyone, hopefully, whether their level of understanding is like lower or higher, they can all have the chance and participation to kind of get involved and learn whatever new content it is. So, and that's great because then it can reach all students from all backgrounds, no matter what culture, socioeconomic bracket, whatever it is, so that
even just what they come in with.
Yeah, so that even kids, like a class full of kids with fixed mindsets who think they're terrible at math or whatever it is, they can participate in super fun lessons that I make and hopefully change their mindset.
Interesting. So everything is like connected to that, really. It is methods and benchmarks to try to see where your kids are fixed and push them to having a growth mindset by making them work it out together, be engaged, rather than just like
talk and have discussions for why did you see that, what problem did you meet, and why, how did you solve it. So like a lot of the stuff that we see now, we want them to just accept mistakes, we want them to communicate more and be open and honest with what challenges they came to, so that when we verbalize that, you can hear in your class, oh, someone else across the room had the same mistake or thought the way that I did, and learning isn't as tough anymore, or it becomes like everyone's.
They see that you can actually learn that way. That's kind of the point, right? At some point they have to acknowledge that they can think through a problem and can do it on their own in the future, as opposed to just having to get walked through it. That's the point, is allowing them to take the reins and be able to do it themselves.
Yeah, and that it's okay even if they do mess up. So it's kind of hard, but this is like the first kind of main topic we want to promote onto the students and the parents, like the beginning of the year. This is what a growth mindset is. This is the ways that you can promote it and stuff. And here, I just brought some like PDFs or some handouts that I give parents usually, just to explain what the fixed mindset and growth mindset is, phrases to tell them. Because I mean, as a parent, I'd be super concerned, like what F's or zeros, like I would, be freaking out. But it's honestly because just, with Common Core state standards and how things are shifting and changing, and just what we need to teach now is so rigorous that, I don't know, a lot of the times teachers might want an information dump, and that causes students to stress out, parents to stress out. And when we're all about stressing and focused on just the assessments, just scores, it ends up becoming all about my reward, my extrinsic motivation, how, what's the least effort I can put. So just by, even telling adults this is kind of a hard concept, but once we accept this, we see it in ourselves, like, oh yeah, this is really important. I need to accept that I make mistakes, and that it's okay for my kids to make mistakes, and that we should, verbalize. But yeah, that's about it. Do you have anything you want to add to mindset, engagement?
I think this is one of those, like, we do without thinking at some point in our lives.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to explain it to someone.
Yeah.
Especially like when you're trying to connect with the parents in the relationship of students, because they might do it and not even know that they do it, or be very comfortable with
why didn't you get this
black
grade?
and
Why
white.
can't you be
You
like
are
that?
good,
Yeah,
or you are not.
exactly.
So,
Because what they grew up with is totally different than now, and how we're expected to learn, and with all the content that
so that's an added challenge within this, because you can control or try to
what goes
simulate
on
an
in the
environment in the
classroom.
class, but
Yeah.
you can't
Explain
home,
what
so.
happens at home, how they are actually motivated, and what really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very interesting.
So yeah, just emphasizing the brain can grow, things are possible, but then it's tough too because I'm always the engine, the battery, always promoting this, and really it is like the teachers, you got to fake it, even if you know that the student that you don't think will excel as much, you still promote it and you still hold them accountable, because once you give up, they're giving up too, and it's an endless cycle that feeds into this mindset, and you
You
know.
realize that you take that's a fixed thing. You look at your students and you're like,
Yep.
maybe this person isn't going to excel as much, and you're surprised.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
Yep. So that's nice too. So that everyone
That's
gets their
excellent.
own victories and stuff. So yeah, it's a lot of work, but very worth it. So thank you for listening and being my student
Thank
and
you.
having in.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mochi. She's our plug.